It takes a lot for, I'm going to be honest, for an email security story to kind of get over the hump in terms of being notable because they just happen all the time. It seems like a lot of organizations are stuck in the past here. So Patrick, help us understand here. Is email security even moving anywhere? Are we evolving at all? Is the situation getting better, or is everybody just stuck in the past here?
One of the things that I think is really interesting about the email security space is that it feels like it's still stuck in what is essentially the antivirus era. You have a lot of focus on signatures, reputation, one-time scans. I think we need a shift to more visibility detection response in the email space. So really thinking about, what EDR for email looks like, since it is the top attack vector for most organizations.
Why are we still so stuck on, hey, if it gets in the inbox, I guess don't click is our only option here, right?
What is arguably the most visible part of the security space for an organization is the inbox, because everybody operates with email, is communicating. And so when those things inevitably do slip through the cracks on the perimeter, that's what people ask about. When something does slip through the cracks and somebody does click, you really need something and a strategy in place that really helps you understand, like, if this account was compromised right now, what's the immediate blast radius? In a phishing incident, right? What sensitive data, contracts, PII have been exposed here? The phishing email in and of itself is the means to the end, which is to either get the data or to get some money, right? And so if you're just focused on the means there, you're losing sight of the end game for the attacker in the first place.
It seems on the verge of insanity, right? Like that we're not planning for this to occur on a daily basis.
Yeah, and it's getting trickier and trickier now, frankly, with the evolution and Gen AI entering the scene, right? You have, frankly, what is the ability to write a really well-crafted phishing email at the fingertips of the entire world now. And so, if you're just using heuristics and language-based indicators just as one example, that's going to be a lot harder to stop on the perimeter. And so you need to think about, what does that defense in depth look like? I know somebody may have interacted with a really well-crafted phishing email. Do I know where they've been, what the attacker has done, in a place where it's really easy for the security team to get visibility on that? Because sure, you can go do that in a SIM, right? But that is a ton of digging and a ton of work that gets dragged out over time. And so, being able to pull all that up front as much as possible, closest to the email space, is something that will only benefit security teams.
If people want to check out what Material Security is up to in this space and kind of beyond, material.security is the way to do it. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. We certainly believe in having a really resilient, not only a really top tier email security platform, but also having that holistic system that's resilient and understanding what the blast radius looks like inside of your inbox, but also inside of your drive. If you think about it, the email account is the first thing somebody gets when they start at an organization. It's the last thing they have access to before they leave an organization. And it's where all the work happens in between. And so, we really believe that the same way the EDR space has evolved to protect endpoints and servers, email is just one aspect of providing EDR for the whole cloud office, right? So it's basically becoming, just one vector of a few that you need to make sure you have visibility and the ability to respond to quickly. And what is arguably the most impactful security space for an organization, which is productivity and thinking about, the intellectual property, sensitive data, all the things that happen in and out for an organization.
You will have to check out our latest episode of the CISO Series podcast for kind of digging more into what Material is all about. But Patrick, thank you so much for your time. Can't wait to talk later.